If you're watching this, you're probably like many of my clients. Your time is very valuable. Shall we say $50 an hour or $100 an hour? Needless to say, I don't want to waste your time, and you don't want your time wasted either. My name is Jay Carlson of Carlson Wealth Advisors. Long ago I learned that every foundation, every investor, every business owner really has two things that they're interested in investments. Now there's a lot of different ways to slice and dice those two things, but the two fundamental factors that everybody looks for is they want to preserve their principal and they want an adequate return. Now that's become a lot more difficult over the last 5 years, even over the last 5 months it seems to have become a lot more difficult, both preserving principal and finding an adequate return. That's what I do. That's my job for my clients. That's why there are people like me, registered investment advisors, because you specialize in what you do, and I specialize in providing investment consulting and investment management to people just like you, whose time is better spent doing other things. Now, I'm not going to spend this video trying to convince you that I'm the best. My 20 years in the business and my success ratio, I think, speak to that very well. What this video is for is again to give you a feel for who I am and how my firm operates. So let's talk a little bit about that. I'm an independent registered investment advisor, and let me tell you what that means. There's an inherent conflict of interest in the investment business when you are selling something for another firm. I don't have a relationship with a retail brokerage, a wirehouse broker, an insurance company, a bank, or a trust company. And because I don't have those affiliations, I don't have a built-in conflict of interest. What I do is spend my time, more than 10 hours a week, I can assure you of that, looking for the vehicles and the strategies and the tools, trying to understand what's going on in the economy so that I can bring the right tools and strategies to my clients to help them preserve their principal or to take advantage of what's going on. The last 10 years, I think, the last 5 years, the last 12 months, I think has taught many investors, or at least given many investors the impression that the old way of buying a mutual fund and holding it isn't necessarily working all the time. I hope we get back to that point where we can buy something and hold it for 5 years and get an adequate return. We aren't in that environment today. And that's why my clients hire me, is to help them navigate this environment, to help them, well, to help them profit and to protect their principal, to help them get some benefit out of what's going on in the economy today. You need to make a decision. If your advisor has been treating you well and you have no complaints, if they've been active and giving you lots of advice and management over the last 5 years, you're probably doing fine. But if you have questions, if you look at your portfolio and you're putting it in a drawer because you're afraid of what it might show you, if you've become frustrated with the fact that you're not getting the kind of communication you should, maybe it's time to look at other alternatives. And I would argue that I am a true alternative to 95% of my competitors. I can be reached at 517-617-5837. My website is carlsonwealthadvisors.com. You can find more information on my website, presentations, economic presentations, my performance numbers, some of the articles and publications that I have put in print for my clients and interested other parties. If you would like more information, give me your email address, and I'll be sure to put you on my mailing list for my weekly and quarterly updates. That way you can get a little bit better feel for how I operate, and maybe we can build a relationship. That's the ultimate goal of any communication, after all, is to eventually build a relationship.